Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to address some of the complaints that I've been getting on the channel over the AMD content versus the 3080. I think some people are taking this a little bit too much in the wrong direction. I'm not trying to trash the 3080. The 3080 card was fine for the most part. It was getting, I mean, it was doing its best at whatever. So this series of AMD videos are not to are not to trash the are not to trash the the 3080. They're not. It's just to kind of show that going with an AMD card is possible, and it's fine, and it's not that big of a deal. Oh wait, why can't I go into there? So first of all, this here is running. I'm checking out. I've just been doing. I just did this really long benchmark, 4K 1440p 1080p, the whole first section of this game. I'm not going to cut it up or anything. I'm just going to post the whole video so that people can watch that. I hope you do check it out. There's a lot of good information in there. You'll see a lot of how this card handles it, like 1080p, 1440p, at 4K, and you'll be able to see the bottlenecking in there. Because for some reason, this particular starting intro, it actually shows the full range of motion of how these cards are going to act in different scenarios, and it's pretty interesting. I wish I would have been recording my voice as I was doing it, but I wanted just a clean video so that if I need to cut it up and use it for other purposes, I can do that. But I think you're going to find some interesting information in that, which I found pretty interesting. How the card how the card handles at 1080p was very interesting, and that is toward the very end of the video. You'll start with 4K 1440p, and then you'll go over to the 4K. But I want people to understand that, like, I'm not doing this to trash Nvidia or to make people feel bad about their purchase of the 3080. I'm not doing that in any way, shape, or form. But what I am doing is trying to show you that if you found yourself in a freaking position with your 3080 or your Nvidia graphics cards, the AMD is 100% an option, and you get more bang for your buck, which I thought was like, wow, that's good. Like, I am very appreciative of just what this AMD 7900 XT can do, and it's simply incredible for the price point that I feel that I paid for it. And the reason why I talk about the 3080 is because I literally paid $40 more for the card I have now than I did for that 3080. And it's not about like the generation, because any in my opinion, any card that launches during this console generation is fair game. It's fair game. That 3080 with that price range should have been able to keep up with the consoles, and that's my biggest thing. Now, this card right here out of the gate has been more stable across multiple types of games for me, and that's why I'm like, wow, I find myself usually pretty happy. Now, as you can see, we are in 4K right now, ultra settings with AMD FSR 2.1 in the performance mode. And I was looking at this because I was like, man, that ain't gonna look good at all. Because I've never tried to really do anything. I've tried doing like AMD performance in a couple of other games, and man, it just never looked good. But this right here, like the quality of the pixel. Oh wait, I got this downsampled to 1440p. Of course, I'm not going to see any of that fuzz and blur. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to see any of that fuzz and blur stuff anyways. But wow, this simply does look incredible playing with this on performance mode at ultra settings, and the amount of frames I'm getting through here. So this area right here is fairly heavy when you're walking through, just on like regular 4K with ultra settings. It's pretty close to a 30 frames per second in this area. So right through here, where all the vegetation is, all of this stuff right here, it gets really freaking heavy through here. But then, as you'll see, you'll notice my frame rate's starting to tick up once you get right here to this billboard. You get almost 20% or 20 FPS, 30 to, well, yeah, like 30 to 40 FPS higher than what you were getting back that down there. And then it only continues to grow from there. Like you'll start to get more frames in through here. So it's kind of weird. So when you're out in the open is when you'll have your lower frames, but right when you go into an area like right here, you see my frames start to get significantly higher. Oh, when you go through the door. when you're in like enclosed areas and stuff. So that's why I feel like this is a pretty decent experience overall.
What happened to these poor bastards?
In this
Can't let
in
it go
this
to waste.
oh man.
Use it on that bum ankle of yours.
But
Won't help me
overall, I feel like this card here has been a pretty dang good I feel like this card has been pretty good overall. I feel like you're able to get a setting, and you've got the power to back up mostly everything you want to do. I mean, if you really want to play at 4K with ultra settings, you can do that if you're using like XeSS or the AMD. If I kind of feel like this card right here with this game, with this being an Unreal Engine 5 game, and then after seeing how it was running on Fortnite as well, maxed out with Lumen and everything, I feel like this card would be pretty dang good to get you through the generation. I think you got enough VRAM with this. I think you'll be able to really be able to like focus on your settings. I went through this whole benchmark, through this whole section, and watched every single thing. I've seen this game with low settings. I've seen this game with ultra settings. I've seen it at 1080p, 1440p, and 4K. And to tell you the truth, playing on this 1440p monitor through all three of the 1080p, 1440p, and 4K Ultra, this game looks incredible either way. Like you could get a 1440p monitor, run this at 1080p max settings, and it still look incredible. And surprisingly, your GPU utilization will still be at like 99%. Which I thought was kind of interesting. You will see it dip in certain sections down into like the 70s or whatever, but it was pretty interesting overall to see that. So I don't want the people that have a 3080 to feel like I'm just sitting here trying to trash that card or get you to FOMO to buy this card. That's not what I'm trying to do. It really isn't what I'm trying to do. But there's so much negativity out there for AMD, and there's so many people that just ultimately jump to defend Nvidia, and I'm like, dude, why are we defending the super high prices that Nvidia charges? I don't, honestly, guys, if that 4080 would have been $100 more than the 3080, I would not be sitting here with an AMD card right now. I would not be sitting here with an AMD card right now. We would not be watching these videos. We would just be watching another round of fluff videos for an Nvidia card, because I would be happy. I would be like, yeah, this is super great. This is only 700 and blah, blah, blah. And I would be creating more FOMO with a 4080 card than I think I am with this one. If that card was like $100 more than what I paid for if that card was the same price as what I just paid for this XFX, for a 4080, I don't think I'd be here. I do not think I would have taken, I don't think I would have went with the AMD card. I probably would have just went with the, and trust me, before I bought this AMD card, I was to the point where I was like, oh man, maybe I should just grab that 4070 Ti. It's 2-pin. I can plug it in, blah, blah. I was sitting there trying to talk myself into buying a 4070 Ti with 12 gigs of VRAM and a 192-bit bus, and I was like, no, man, I'm not giving up my bus rate, and my other only option is AMD. So that's why we're here, man. That's why we're here. We're here because I was outgrowing that 3080, and yes, there's plenty of ways that you could have, like this game here. I was watching a benchmark on it at 1440p with DLSS maxed out and all of that stuff. It would have been easily playable at 1440p. Like it would have been easily playable with DLSS at 1440p. Now, but like I've said before, like DLSS would have been necessary to be able to play this at ultra settings at 1440p. It would have been necessary to have DLSS on there. So I'm not trying to be mean to the 3080. I'm just trying to, essentially call out Nvidia for putting us in a position to where we would be thinking about upgrading our card anyways. All right, let's do a little bit of running around. So I want you guys to understand that, like, you don't need to come here and try to defend Nvidia, especially if your card is like a 3080 12 gig Ti. That doesn't even compare. Like, you're not going to experience the kind of issues that are gonna pop up with the 3080 10 gig. Like, you're not going to. So trying to say that that's close, or maybe in Rasta and stuff like that, but that card is a stronger card and it will do 1440p and 4K on some of these games right now. That 3080 10 gig is right on. That 3080 10 gig is right on the like the cusp. Like it destroys old games. Like it destroys old games. But these newer games, man, I don't know. I don't think that trying to use a 3080 12 gig Ti is I don't think that's even a close comparison, because you are not going to run into like any of the VRAM issues or anything like that with a lot of these games, especially at 1440p. You're going to be probably a lot better off with that card with a 1440p. Gosh, I've done this so many times. I've done this so many times, I don't even let that dude come through the freaking thing anymore. But I do love this game. This game is absolutely incredible. I played it for a long time yesterday. I've been playing it today. I just can't stop playing it. So, all right, my friends, I appreciate you, and I'm not trying to make you hate your Nvidia card. I'm really not. I'm just trying to say that, look, guys, there is another option out there. And if you want to get more bang for your buck and you want to be able to be satiated a little while longer, then AMD is an option for you, and you can get a high-end AMD card with more grunt for the same price that you paid for your 3080. That's all I'm saying, man. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.